Yeah, I mean, I've been to a few games. You know what I remember about Bama? Are you a Bama fan?
Auburn fan.
What? What?
Don't say
That's
shit.
weird.
No, that's not weird. That is
Weirdo.
not weird. That's not weird. Because I don't know, something about being an underdog.
Hey guys, welcome to Little Black Book. Now, I'm not trying to be a hater, but I'll be a hater. Look, let me be honest with you. Olandria supporters, I love you guys, okay? I appreciate you. I'm lying, I don't love you, let's be honest. I don't love many people. But in all jokes aside, I called this the Chameleon Live today. I said Huda is a chameleon. Nick is a chameleon. And why do I say they're chameleons? Because they change their colors based on the people they're dealing with. Okay, it's a type of manipulation. Huda, this particular episode, is starting to show her actual true colors. The way she dealt with Chris, the need to control is coming out. We can see it now. We can talk about how she wants to be a mother, and you know she is somebody who's acquainted with children, so she understands how it looks like. I would understand that, but you know the way she goes about doing certain things, you can tell the control is just lingering underneath everything. Do you know what I'm saying to you? That you can tell with Huda, there's a lingering aspect of control that she has to deal with Chris, even on this episode, right? I totally get it. You got to take it seriously, but it's the way she went about it. Now, Chris didn't help himself when he told her to shut up, and also when he forgot to ask her about her baby, right? So we always knew that. That was going to be an instance, and Chris is not being honest. When they were having a conversation, and I'll play the clip for you a little bit later on, they were playing a conversation, and she addressed him, and I thought that was really good. She addressed him really, really well. Like she said, hey, this is what hurt me. Nothing wrong with it at all. That was him bringing it up, by the way, of course, because again, she didn't bring it up. She was moping around, and then he had to bring it up. And then he obviously then brought it up, and they had a conversation. And then with that conversation, she asked him, is there anything I'm doing that will make you feel uncomfortable? And instead of him just saying yes, you know, when you're controlling me, it's annoying. He didn't say anything. Okay. So that's why I talked about this chameleon aspect, because Huda will try to mask and change colors, but the reality of it is you're still a lizard. I mean, I shouldn't say lizard, you're a chameleon, but you know what I mean? Like, and the same thing with Nick here. Now, something that I mentioned to you guys a little bit earlier on in the season is, have you noticed that when Nick gets around Olandria, he changes the way he dresses? No, well, look, before you guys call this the black woman magic, let's stop right here. This isn't a relationship yet. Have you noticed the way that Nick changes the way he dresses with Olandria? Even his hair changes, but when he deals with Sierra, that wasn't the same case. We've got chains, we've got black tees, we've got these particular trousers that he wears. He'd be wearing these black Tims suddenly. He'd be doing stuff put on a do-rag. So do you know there's a change? Do you notice the change? Now, when I said earlier on in the season about fetishization, this is all included with it. Right? Now, someone mentioned Miguel from last season. Did Miguel change the way he dresses? Miguel always had a little energy to him. You know what I'm saying to you? Always had a way of style of dressing. It didn't change halfway through the season. It didn't change because he was dealing with Leah. And this is exactly the kind of stuff that I'm talking about, that actually normally people pick up very easily. When a man's doing this for a woman, we normally pick up so easy. I don't know why we're missing it. I don't know why it doesn't feel strange that he will be changing the way he dresses in order to fit in with Olandria. Like, does that not feel weird? Does that not feel weird to you? Bro doesn't even do that around Ace. Bro doesn't even do that around Ace. So it's like, why is he doing that with Olandria? That's why I said I called out the fetishization earlier on, because really and truly, if you really deep it, you changing your clothing, this is not a survival technique. Black people, we do this because we're trying to survive. We are in an environment where we are policed for the way we dress, the way we talk, the way we look. It's a survival technique that we have to have a we have to change our code and the way that we move, right? That's not to do with that's not to do with necessarily that we want to do that. It's because we understand it's a survival technique. We live in a world where we're being literally judged and being punished for just being us. Right? That's why we have a term called being ghetto. And of course, they have their own, which is called white trash, but the two are not synonymous, the same. They're not on the same level, not in this particular world, because of the intersectionality of it all. You know what I mean? Yeah. And yeah, when he asked that question about being a single mom and single dad, I was like, I don't know where that conversation came from. Okay, I don't know where that conversation came from about being a single mom. I know she has been a single. I know her mom was a single mom, but I don't know where that came from. I just felt a bit weird, a little bit. But again, I let it go. I said, okay, but again, some of these things are they're a little bit off. I'm not saying he's racist or anything like that. I'm saying that there's a lot of performative actions that he's producing. Right, he's switching when he gets to Olandria to change to be more perceived, more attractive, because he uses, I guess, quote unquote, dressing urban, dressing in black. What is that even? We know what that is without saying what it is. Okay, so we don't need to explain that. For those who know, those who understand, it doesn't need to be explained. You know what I'm saying to you, right? But what ends up happening is you kind of reduce us to this caricature. You know what I'm saying to you? We ain't really seen that. You know, so I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, so what's going on here? That's why I call it the chameleon aspect, right? With Sierra, even his hair changes at some points. You know what I'm saying to you? Even Sierra does with the way he changes the way even when he's with Sierra. Like his hair becomes more Backstreet Boys, and then suddenly. Like, you know what I mean? Like, these are little things I'm talking about. Like, that's why I don't ship it. This is why I really don't ship it. Like, you see, when we see Love is Blind, and we saw Cameron, and we saw our good sis as well. And I always forget her name. I can't remember her name, but I forget her name. Right? It looks different, right? They seem to have an even kill. They both kind of merge and blend their cultures, right? Cool. Okay. When we see this particular Lauren, thank you. You can see that, right? We saw Miguel with Leah, yes, last season, whatever. You see the way that he came in, he came out the same way. He's got a little bit of spice on him, you know what I'm saying? He got a little bit of that, he got that little edge on him. That hasn't changed. He didn't change that for someone. He didn't become more, Eurocentric. You know what I'm saying to you? Like, he didn't try to bring that into the game, whoever he was trying to be with. So this thing is weird. That's why I say it's weird. And if we're not picking up on it, I'm asking myself, why are we so wanting Olandria to have something that we can't just call something out? Really, listen, they can stay together and get 100K. Forget that. I'm just talking about real relationship aspect now. Forget Olandria's situation, Intilligence. I'm just talking about as a real person for some people to pay attention to. All right. Code switching is for survival. It's not it's not you doing this so you can be approved. It's not. Although we do it to be approved, it's from a survival place. So when someone's doing code switching when they don't need to, it does make you feel a bit weird, because he doesn't need to. Especially him being the person who is of a Caucasoid background, and I say that with politeness, in the sense of that with that aspect, he has the leverage in society. So why would he need to shift and change? That's why I call it the chameleon. It's like, you don't need to do this. I don't know why you would do it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It just feels a little weird. In that particular aspect. Now I know someone said he has black friends or whatever. And I hear that. But has he dated black women? I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying to you? All of that, I don't really know. Like, has he dated a black woman? I don't know. Do you get what I'm saying? That's why I said all of it is weird. It's like, it's not because I don't want this name anyway. It just feels weird. It feels off.
It just gives me chills. And I love college football season. Like, Saturdays, I literally just be at home watching college football.
I love that.
I'm not even kidding.
We love a girl that watches football.
Literally.
Being in the villa, we talk a lot about our feelings and stuff, but having like the small talks makes me feel like.
Now, I'm not saying that Olandria is not feeling him more. Listen, Olandria is feeling him more. Okay, I can see that Ola's feeling him more. Okay, I can see he's feeling him more. I hear it, I hear it, but again, this is the choices we make. We've got to be accountable for the choices we make. So Alondria's about to fall, and I want her. This is now. It feels like it's gonna be a part 2 of the Taylor situation. You know what I'm saying to you? I want to be honest with you and say, listen, Ola, hey, if you're feeling him, let's do the proper work here to really assess who this person is. Because honestly, you should find it a bit weird that he's shifting his behavior. Okay. So for me, the sudden wife beat is, I think they're coming from Taylor. Okay. And this shift also from Olandria too. Yes, you know, the speed is interesting. Like I said, the speed is interesting. Like I said about Olandria too, the speed is interesting too. Okay. So I keep saying about what Nick is. Nick is somebody who, listen, we've got the last 2 weeks. What Nick is going to do, listen, Nick doesn't mind if Olandria falls for him. He's not going to be that at the end. I don't believe. The reality of the situation is that when people start catching feelings for Nick, Nick starts to go the other way. Okay. Nick starts to go the opposite way. Now, my thing is, right? My thing is that when Nick goes the opposite way, this is what's going to happen with Olandria. Right now, the reason why Olandria seems so tasty is because she hasn't fallen yet. But she's about to start, because you can see it in the way that she's looking at him, the way she's talking about him. It's about to change. It feels like. It could be us. She could be gaming us. Okay, but when Nick gets frustrated is when you actually fall. No, the enjoyment for Nick is that he can't always get you. That's why in the beginning with Sierra and Bella, it was so fun for him. He likes the game because he's emotionally unavailable. He's not trying to be available. He's not trying to be online. So when people start to run, okay, when people start to run, he enjoys that chase. But as soon as they now want to settle, we saw it with Sierra. As soon as Sierra wants to go, I'm slowing it down. The immediate thing. You know what I'm saying to you? The immediate thing changes. Okay? The immediate thing changes. I don't find it cute that he's so, listen, I don't get twisted. Men can be nervous, but this guy is also, you know, I'm so nervous when I'm around you. I'm like, get the frick out of here, boy. You know what I mean? And it's because sometimes when you're playing a game and you're playing it in a new environment, yeah, you will be nervous. You will be. See, when you were with Bella, you didn't feel nervous. When you were Sierra, you didn't feel nervous. Why? It's your normal game. It's your usual type of woman. Doing this with a black woman now, not because they're even any different. Or it's a race thing, right? So you stepping them into a new territory. Of course, you feel nervous.
I'm outside the villa, so
Yeah.
thank you for giving me a piece of like home.
Oh, that's so sweet, Nikki Poo.
Thank you for being a good mother to Marcel today. And I love like the little talks that we have after that, honestly.
Clearly, Chris and Brian are no longer.
Now, of course, one thing that I have to commend, obviously, Nick for is that he does give her compliments. He does give her, you know, he shows affirmations. He appreciates her. He does that all verbally. He does that all verbally. And one thing you must know about Nick is he's got a sharp mouth. You know, sharp mouth. You know, so that sharp mouth from Nick is contagious, especially with Olandria, as someone who's told us about how she moves and what she's experienced. Those are things that she probably doesn't get very often. I mean, she didn't even get it from Taylor. So she's been starved, and probably most of her life probably starved of those verbal affirmations, right? Because people that tend to be a little bit more dismissive tend to be that way because they weren't actually given those things when they were young. So when you find somebody who affirms you, acknowledges you, speaks life into you, does all those things, you start to realize that actually that can be something that can actually ginger you, make you feel so loved and feel cared for. Do you know what I'm saying to you? So I get it. You know what I mean? Like it makes sense. But like I said, she's starting to feel him. And, you know, you saw how excited Nick was about her backing it up. And I said, You see how they started backing it up? And I said, I said, wait, hold on a minute now. Y'all backing it up in the bed. Okay, cool. Like I said, Olandria's not slow. Taylor's not slow. When people tell you they're slow, they're not slow. Did you see the way that they were kissing last time? And they did not deny how they felt. Now all of a sudden we can't kiss now. I'm like, what? What's happening? What's changed? You know what I'm saying to you? What's changed? Something's off. Something's different.
Of course. Hey, that makes me so
there's no
happy.
way.
Hold on. My bad. Wrong clip. I was trying to get to another situation. You know what I mean? So again, I'm looking at him like, and his energy with Ace also. I don't know if Ace, although Ace saw the thingy, I don't know there's something else going on because the way that they were having a conversation, Ace and Nick, it felt a bit weird.
I put myself first without considering anybody else. Whether that was a friend, another connection, or anybody else. It was just for me. So as selfish as that was last night, I felt good. I love you, girl.
Now I can't lie. Those of you back in the Olandria thing, because she said that, you know what, I'm being selfish now. I'm not thinking about anybody else, like whether it's a friend or anything else, and y'all are cheering it. Makes no sense to me. It actually makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me. Y'all can't hold Huda to a standard and talk about being selfish, and then talk about Olandria saying she should be selfish and be like, yes, we should root for her to be selfish. How does that make sense? That's why I said sometimes we back things that are just stupid. I do not like Huda. I've already told you this. I don't like the way Huda moved, and we're going to talk about her after because she's a chameleon as well. But really and truly, we accepting things that are stupid. I honestly, I call it stupid because we give one rule for one person and another rule for another person. It's not okay when Huda was deciding to dance on somebody else's man, Ace, which wasn't her man, which actually wasn't Shelly's man. It's not okay. It's not okay because why should she? That's a woman's friend. And now when Olandria says, oh, I can be, you know what, I'm going to be selfish. It doesn't matter what it is. You know, we're going to be like, oh, because Sierra's out of the building. No, it doesn't matter. You still had those affections and feelings. If that was your friend, no, let's keep it a buck. If this situation, right, if we're talking about, and people are making excuses saying, oh, you know, for me, you know, because Sierra went and stood behind old girl and not stood behind Taylor, so that's why she did. No, but wait, Olandria kissed Nick before then. So what are we talking about here? Olandria knows what she's doing. That's why I said you have to hold people accountable. And so when we're holding Huda accountable, cool. Just make sure when you're holding Huda accountable, you're going to hold everybody else accountable the exact same way. I hate this thing where we hold people, some people accountable and some people not. And then we say, oh, people are giving Huda grace because she's a white woman. And I'm like, we don't give black women grace. Listen, that is actually true. A lot of times that's true. In this instant, no. We are covering up nonsense and shenanigans. Now, do I think Olandria and Shelly are necessarily mean girls? No. But they were mean for a little bit. But they weren't mean girls. But this stupidity of trying to hold people different accounts, like, yo, y'all know to hold, y'all be getting vexed about Huda. And I'm like, that's cool. You should be getting vexed at Huda because if you feel that Huda did something wrong, I hear it. Some of the things she did wrong. I mean, y'all weren't consistent, some of you, because in the beginning when she was doing what she did to Jeremiah, you were trying to hold Jeremiah accountable. But hey, and was Sierra being loyal? Of course, Sierra is passive aggressive. So instead of Sierra actually going behind, you know, and helping Olandria, she didn't. She went behind Taylor. Okay, all right, I get it. You know what I'm saying, Chu? Yes, passive aggressive because really, true, she was still pissed off about the kiss. Let's be honest, she was still pissed off about the kiss, right? So we know that Sierra was doing that just to get back at the fact that she couldn't say anything and she wasn't brave enough and courageous enough to tell Olandria how she really, really felt. So she went behind her back. Yes, that's true. I agree that. But before then, whether Olandria said it or not, the fact that she lips up Nick in that way, and people can call it, oh, they were coupled up. They didn't have to be coupled up. And them being coupled up did not mean they had to start kissing. They knew that thing was coming up soon. So for me, that's an excuse. But now openly admitting that you're going to be selfish, you don't care about a friend, I'm like, okay, well, we have to hold you accountable then. If you know you're going to be selfish, choose a Nick. And you said it's always been there. You've always had a feeling for Nick. It's always been there from the very beginning. Cool. Then that means that kiss that you had when you guys were coupled up was a betrayal. It wasn't a mistake. It wasn't a moment. You actually betrayed Sierra because you knew you liked Nick from beforehand. Now I just need you guys to really deep what you actually are proving here. If she says that she liked Nick from the very beginning, then everything I do up to that point is now conscientious. I know exactly what I'm doing. So if I now kiss you in that thing when we go and join each other, then you know exactly what you're doing. That's why I said, why would you hold Huda accountable? Why would you talk about Huda kissing Chris when Chris was actually in a couple with that person and then expose that? But we're talking about Nick. Nick, for me personally, like I said, is a chameleon. Okay, Nick is a chameleon. Nick is a chameleon. And so I don't like the fact that he's willing to change. Okay, to change himself to be more black in the way he moves and the way that he dresses. I don't like it. I don't like that. Personally, I think that's manipulative, and I think that's actually concerning. But hey, that's a story for another day. Okay, now, okay, let's address obviously another issue. Another issue that happened on the show was actually Shelly and Ace, their conversation. Now, again, like I said, with Ace and Shelly, it's interesting because they didn't have an argument, but they had a conversation, and the conversation was also around being able to say, you know, that he felt like he wasn't getting enough plaudits from Shelly, which is really interesting. It's really interesting to hear that. This is interesting.
Together, we got to work on our, you know, teamwork when it comes to being in a couple. I put the clothes on that, baby. Let's be clear.
You see, like you're the way.
I can't get my credit around here.
I've been.
So something that Ace is gonna want. Listen, and there's something necessarily wrong with it. It's just something they have to work on. Two things are very interesting as well. Two things are also interesting as well. Number one, first and foremost, with Ace and Shelly, right? What's really intriguing is that they have a conversation about who's a better parent, almost. Like Shelly and Ace are two individuals that refuse to blend. Because again, they're both avoidance. So one of the biggest things about avoidance is they are afraid of losing themselves to the other person. You know what I'm saying to you? And with that aspect, you can see it because both parties want to keep their own independence, even in the baby challenge. So instead of them working together as a team, they're not working together as a team, they're working as individuals in a team. And that can work for a little bit, but it doesn't work overall. You know what I mean? It can work for a little bit, doesn't work overall. And so what ends up happening is that these two actually will end up not supporting each other the way they need to support each other. And more arguments will happen when in that process because you're not actually paying attention to each other and caring for one another and putting each other first. So this whole conversation.
You credit all day. When did you say good job to me? I've been saying good job to you all day.
I have said good job to you all day today.
What? No way. Are you serious?
I'm so serious. And the fact that you try to...
This conversation, although they're laughing and joking, is a very serious conversation. They both want to be affirmed and they both want to be acknowledged. And neither one seems to do it for the other person. So actually what's happening is they're waiting for each other. Like, are you going to say good job? Am I going to say good job first? Who's going to say it first? We both want to feel like we both want to feel like we're being appreciated, appraised, affirmed, acknowledged. But who's going to go first? Who's going to go first? You know? So we're here again. You know? So we're here again. But the reality of the situation is both of them are not actually seeing each other when they have to see each other.
Yeah, like right
I'm not trying to get. I didn't say
about.
no. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't say good job to you.
No.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. I'm so serious, yo.
So what Ace needs to say right now is, here is something that Ace needs to do. Ace needs to tell Shelly, you know what? I would like to hear from you, you know, good job a little bit more. It makes me feel good. What Ace is doing is what a lot of people do. Both men and women do this a lot. What ends up actually saying, you know, what ends up actually happening is that you start saying what the person isn't doing rather than what you actually want. That's actually what you need to, like, when you are in a relationship, just a little tip for anybody here, right? Rather than saying what you're not going to do, right? You should be saying what you actually want. So Ace saying, you don't tell me good job is what creates an argument, right? It's understandable why he says it. I'm not saying he's the only one that does it. Everybody does this. And so, you know, it's understandable to say those things. But if you're in a relationship, I'm going to tell you now, you always saying a person doesn't do something doesn't actually bring about the best result. What you need to be saying is, hey, look, you know, I want to hear you say more, you know, that I do a good job. You may do it, and maybe I'm not aware of it, but I would love to be more, you know, love to hear you more say, you know, appreciate me more, because it makes me feel good. It makes me feel empowered, it makes me feel stronger. Because then that puts what we call a positive spin on it. You know, you are I can't remember what the wording is. A positive reframe. You've got to positively reframe the conversation. At this point, Nick is negatively reinforcing the conversation or negatively reframing the conversation.
I think we're gonna need parenting courses.
Oh, I think you're gonna be.
No, we're.
And so when she said we're going to need parenting courses, he then switches it again to no, you are going to need it. And what he doesn't realize is while they're joking now, this will actually be in the look, the mind, although it understands jokes, it can actually process it in a way that will actually later on come back to bite you. You've got to be very careful what jokes you make. Okay, so it's really important that when you are talking with your partner specifically, it's the stuff that we talk about in coaching, is that we are positively reframing what we want. You want this. So rather than saying, I don't get this, it should be, this is actually what I want more from you. You know, I want more support from you because it makes me feel like I'm cared for, I'm appreciated. When we go to, you don't do this, this automatically becomes an accusation. And when people feel accused, their back goes against the wall. So that negative reframe, nobody does well. Okay. Just something to little pick up, just a little something to pick up from that, you know, because, you know, they're having a conversation. Now let's go to Chris and to our good sis Huda, because there's another one that was another situation.
Because I asked you.
But I would, okay, I get you.
That's
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? It's like a thing like you don't think about to telling us to say.
just to get some off the chest.
Let me tell you why Huda's situation is annoying, because Huda is a negative reframer. Okay. And negative reframer. And we saw the same thing with Jeremiah. She negatively frames everything. So rather than hearing anything positive when she's got a complaint, it's actually always negative. It's like negative reframe every single time. I shouldn't say every single time, a lot of times. You know, so it's interesting. So let's play a little bit of this clip here.
Something like that.
Okay.
And you went through every person and then you skipped me.
I did
You
forget
skipped
you. You're
over
right.
me.
Yeah, for sure.
And then at the end, you know, I brought the yoga mats out. The least you could do is put them away, and you only put yours away.
I put yours away too.
No, because I asked you.
But I would, okay.
So this conversation here, okay, you know, as she says, obviously, you know, she felt some type of way about the fact that she was ignored. It's actually fair. That's actually, I actually don't have a problem with that. She's actually right. He did ignore her. He did ignore her. And at the time, I watched it back again. He didn't mean to, but he did. And I think her response also by saying effing whatever, he didn't obviously purposely, you know what I mean? Double down. Okay. All right. And so now here, the problem that we have here now is that when Huda feels away, she doesn't positively reframe her conversations. They come out as complaints and arguments. And that after a while is annoying. She has every right to feel how she feels. But every time you negatively frame it, it's something I had to learn myself. I've had to learn this. It's like, it's a difficult skill to learn, but it's a good skill to learn, that you have to positively reframe the conversation. Okay. To positively frame the conversation. So I think that's really important in this aspect as well. I see you, Bittersweets. I will respond to your super chats in a second. I love what you've put there as well. Okay.
That's what, you know what I'm saying? It's like a thing like you don't think about to just put it away. Because I'm holding her baby. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. And it's not like deep. It's not like a big thing, but it's little things that like I pay attention to.
Okay.
So here's the problem. What she's saying again is that she's making herself the superiority in a situation. Hey, these are little things I think about. You know, I think about these things. You don't put the clothes away. I had to tell you to do it, and all it ends up being is an attack. Even though she's saying it in a sweet voice, it's still an attack because she's not positively reframing it, right? Rather than saying, actually, hey, look, you know what? I would love a bit more help around. You know, that support makes me feel good. You know, I know you've helped me in the past. You looked after the baby for a while. I appreciate it. You know, for me, you know, a little bit more, you know, help around maybe the clothes situation makes me feel good. You know, so it's the exact same energy that she has, because actually she's doing the exact same thing she did with Jeremiah. It's a pancake situation all over again. When she feels affected by something, her reframe becomes negative immediately. It almost becomes an accusation. And so whilst she's fair to have the feelings that she has, there's a way to package it so that it lands correctly. Otherwise, today we're doing it, then tomorrow we're doing it again, but actually the third day it's going to be the same way. right? And already I know that Chris has been passive aggressive. Let me tell you why he's been passive aggressive. When he told her to shut up, he meant it. Oh, he meant it. And he's been passive aggressive because he's not saying the truth about how he feels. He's going to explode on her one day, and she's going to find out that he hasn't got all that patience he thinks he has, right? He needs to be honest about how he feels. That's why he told her to shut up. And it was a joke. Oh, just shut up. No, he meant it. Shut the heck up. Because you're annoying me. But he's not being honest and going on like, and we know that because even his response after, and this is what's going to be the Jeremiah situation all over again.
You know, Chris handled it really, really well. He's just a guy who really wants to improve. Like he's trying to make another one.
Now, Chris definitely wants to approve. Don't get it twisted. Chris wants to prove, but the reality situation is, right, he's not being honest. He doesn't play the game. He's not being honest, and that's why he deals with emotionally unstable women. I told you about him beforehand, and I'll tell you about him again. Chris likes emotionally unstable women because it seems as if he's more stable. No, he's more passive. It's very different. If he was actually more assertive, he wouldn't deal with emotionally unstable women. I can't deal with emotionally unstable women. I'm so sorry. I can't deal with it. I will call you out. Because at a certain point, we've got to hold certain standards. You can't just be unstable. You have to hold yourself accountable. And when you allow people to be unstable in your presence and continually be unstable, they will continue to expand their instability. And so actually what Chris is suffering with is that he's not actually being honest about how he feels about things. He sounds like, oh, I'm just so understanding. No, you're not. Stop pretending you're not. You actually need to be honest and actually be clear cut. This is what happened to Jeremiah. And the same thing happened to him. And the same thing's happened to Chris. And this is what happens. Huda type of girls like Huda, not necessarily in terms of skin tone, anything like that. Behavior. Women like Huda who are, I don't even want to say just emotionally unstable, who are very sharp, who can be very, up one time, down one time, which I guess is emotionally unstable, all right? They tend to find men like Chris and Jeremiah. They find them a dime a dozen. Why? Because the men like Jeremiah and Chris, they get excited by the passion, quote unquote, to say, and the pursuit of that woman liking you so much, because actually her intensity is something that you never got as a kid. So actually what's happening is a trauma response. It's like you get excited because her passion for you is something that you never really experienced as a child. That's what makes them so passive. And so actually in that space, they're not telling the truth. They're eventually going to kick up a storm. Okay? He's eventually going to kick up a storm. Someone needs to put, I don't even say, not put Huda in her place. Someone needs to let Huda know there are boundaries. There are boundaries.
Yeah.
What?
Give me a kiss.
Right now?
Yeah.
You gotta,
Wow. That's what I'm talking about.
where's our baby?
Right here. Here you go.
Things like I pay attention to.
Okay.
You know, Chris handled it.
And instead of actually him saying, when she asked me a question, what is it that you think I need to change? Well, if you tell her to shut up, I think there's some things you wanted to change. Am I lying? You know what I mean? Like if you're telling her to shut up across the balcony, joking or not joking, if you tell her to shut up, okay, across the balcony, then there's some things you want her to change. So why not telling her? And this is where the difference between nice and good guys come into play. It's why I keep telling you that sometimes what ends up happening is people believe they're good and really and truly they're just nice. You're nice because you are willing to accept certain things, but really and truly you're not being honest about how you feel about it. So it's going to come up later on. It's going to be resentful and you're going to be pissed off about it. And right now you've had sex as well. So you guys have been doing the do-do. I shouldn't say the do-do, but you've been doing the do, right? And that's made you feel a little bit googie gaggy, but really and truly, that's not how you feel. Why you ain't give her the feedback? Why you ain't tell her? Why you ain't tell her that you didn't like what she did?
Really, really well. He's just a guy who really wants to improve. Like I can tell he really likes me, and it makes me feel good that anytime I bring up anything, he wants to fix it or improve it to make sure.
And that's where you're gonna get manipulated. That's exactly where you're gonna get. The way you're gonna get manipulated, okay, it's that when you let someone like Huda, who says, you know what, when someone like Huda, when they start doing their thing, where they start moving mad or doing certain behaviors, they're waiting for you to put a boundary on them. But when you don't put boundaries, it's like, oh, I'm just so glad that he listens to me and he fixes it when I say he should fix it. What about what you need to fix? What about what you need to fix? You don't know what you need to fix because he's not telling you. You know what I'm saying to you?
I'm happy.
Good information enough.
Is there anything I need to work on?
Yeah.
What?
Give me a kiss.
Right now?
Yeah.
Ugh. That nonsense needs to stop and change, bro. I used to be the exact same way. I used to do the exact same thing. When I was younger, I did the exact same thing. And you think because really and truly, you don't like to upset people. And the whole conversation started because Chris said, am I doing anything to upset you? Because I noticed that you're upset. Instead of actually saying, hey, when you're upset, you got to come and have a conversation with me. Right? And that's why the conversation started in the first place. He went to her because he noticed that her energy was off, and her energy affects his energy. And instead of actually letting say, hey, look, I can see you're down. What's going on with you? See, there's something I'm learning, and as I'm teaching my clients, the exact same thing in my coaching. This is what we talk about as well, right? When you are somebody who is not secure, you allow other people's feelings to affect yours. And many of us are like this because most of us have got insecure attachments. It's very difficult to not allow someone else's emotions to affect mine. Do you know what I'm saying to you? So when you got Chris is saying, obviously, I can see you're down, and when you're down, it affects me. That's very fair. I understand that. But now he's not being honest about how he feels. So instead of actually going to her and being like, okay, look, I really hear you. Okay, I really hear you. And you know, I can see that you might be a little bit down. You know, what's the issue? Cool, he went to her that way, right? But he still has to remember that he has to let her know, like, okay, let me be honest with you. Look, at the balcony, I said, shut up. I shouldn't have said that. And it's because I was getting a little bit frustrated. Some of the times when you're talking to me, it's controlling. Gotta let you know. Right? Now, he kind of mentions that at the balcony when she said what she said. But now that conversation is why we're here now. And if she would crash out when you give honest feedback, then that's probably not the right person for you. You know what I'm saying to you? He has to give her honest feedback. If you don't, resentment will build up. Whenever you don't want to give people honest feedback, resentment's building. So yes, Huda being this chameleon that's saying that she changed, she hasn't changed. She's still the exact same way. It's just hidden. It's gonna come out the exact same way.
Wow.
Where's our baby?
Right here. Here you go.
You trying to make another one?
Look at it.
So that's what I would say. Okay. All right. And that's where the shut up came from. It did. In fact, not just a shut up. That's where he ignored her also came from. That part where they were doing the yoga and he missed her the first time. I think that was a mistake. I genuinely think that was a mistake. When he first missed her, it was a mistake. When she mentions it and he fails to still go to her and ask her, yo, like, sorry, our baby. And he talks for her and says, oh, our baby's going to be this and that. And somebody said, my bad, Huda. What's your thoughts on our baby? My bad. He continues. I said, oh, no. He knows exactly what he was doing at that point. He said, I'm not going to feed into your nonsense and shenanigans. You know? I'm not mad at it. It just is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, you just got to be honest with her in that space. And if you feel like, you know, there's some things that are affecting you, say it. But it's because it's been building up, because the baby situation where she came over, grabbed the baby from him. Like, y'all need to stop that kind of stuff. She came over, grabbed the baby from him. And again, when you say that, it becomes an indication that the person's not doing a good job, even though you haven't said anything. Right? It shows that you don't trust the party. As soon as he put the baby down, she came and grabbed the baby from him and took it away. And when she did that, what she doesn't realize is what she's actually communicating. And listen, for the ladies too, this is something to pay attention to, right? Instead of it's like when someone's not doing the right thing, right? It's a good place to, again, positively reframe the conversation. You know, again, just letting the person know, hey, maybe you didn't realize. You know, maybe you didn't realize that, you know, that when a baby sat down like that, the head can't be supported. So just put your hand behind the head so the baby's supported and you keep it moving. That's still positive. It's like, hey, maybe you didn't know, I don't know if you know, that when the baby sat down like that, the baby can't support his head. So you just have to put your hand behind the head. Now, of course, this baby is a toy. So the head is not going to fall back. Okay. You know, and so, you know, I look at it from that perspective. You know what I'm saying to you? You know, that just needed a little bit of a conversation. But again, it was turned into something else because, you know, she wanted to have her say, and I get it. But that's why the argument later on happens like this.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
The kid's been watching far too
I
much.
shouldn't get a clip for you guys. Sorry, I didn't get a clip for you guys. I want to get it where they had that little conversation at the balcony. I want to see if I can get the little conversation. Okay. if I can get it, because their conversation was quite interesting to say the least.
Huh?
What's wrong with you?
What you mean?
Why are you ripping shit off her head while she's screaming?
She didn't even make. She's not even crying. That's not my baby.
And ours didn't cry not once.
Not one time on my mama.
Okay, next time, don't be ripping.
See, that's the problem with Huda. She tries to tell you what to do, and TJ told her this, Jeremiah's told her this, and now Chris is experiencing it. That's 3 times. At some point, we do have to hold her accountable, which we already hold her accountable from the very beginning. She is controlling and she can be domineering. And if you continue that, I'm probably going to tell you to shut up. That's the problem. I'm probably going to tell you to shut up too, because at some point, you're pissing me off. Like the way you're delivering your information, stop doing it that way. Like, yo, I'm not a kid. Stop doing that. That's what Jeremiah said. And people were calling him out, talking about how he tried to decide to switch. No.
Doing?
Huh?
What's wrong with you?
What you mean?
Why are you ripping shit off her head while she's screaming?
She didn't even make. She's not even crying. That's not my baby.
And ours didn't cry not once.
Not one time on my mama.
Okay, next time, don't be ripping shit off of her.
Next time, don't be like, I don't like that color.
I was playing.
And that's why you got to put boundaries on someone like Huda. Simple as. You know what I mean? Actually, that's why you have to put boundaries on someone like Huda, because if you don't, she'll keep on thinking it's okay to talk to you how she wants to talk to you. Like you have to be letting the person know, listen, the way you're talking to me, the tone you're taking, I don't appreciate it. The words you're using, I don't appreciate it. If you're not gonna be careful with the words you're gonna use, process it, take some time out before you come and speak to me. Because you're not going to talk to me that way. You understand what I'm saying to you? And because Chris decided to banter with her there and still didn't say anything later on, that's his problem. So now you're going to be in a situation where your boundaries are being pushed. That's something he has to deal with. Okay, let me quickly deal with this super chats as well, because I know you guys sent some super chats. Shout out to Better Sweets said, Nick expressed that he had interest in adopting a child as a single father. I think that's why he asked Ola if she'd consider being a single parent. But how do we go from adoption to single parent? But I get what you're saying. Okay, you're saying that obviously if he wanted to adopt a child, probably that's why he asked her. But again, I still think that's weird. If I'm talking about adoption, why am I talking about adoption personally again to be a single parent? Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, but again, I get it. He's maybe because he was talking about him searching the internet on ChatGTP and him saying, obviously, he wanted to search for adopted children. I can't lie to you. I thought it was much of a game. I can't lie to you. I didn't believe that. I don't believe he actually even felt that. You know what I'm saying to you? But hey, that's me not believing him. Seems like no black men believe in the possibility that black women could honestly be pursued. No, that's not the truth at all. We do believe that. I believe, especially on this platform, that black women are desired, hella desired, absolutely wanted. It is just weird with Nick in the way that he does it. We want Olandria to be pursued. You know what I'm saying, Chu? Just don't be pursuing the wrong kind of people. You know what I'm saying? We were rooting for her and Jalen, and she decided to dump that one, right? Because she wants to keep a hold of Taylor. Okay, so in that instance, you know, don't let Chris fool you. He doesn't care to correct her because he has no plan on staying with her. He's here to win and be out. Fair point. Fair point. I can't lie to you. It's a fair point. It's a very fair point that he's just here to just get the money and be out. You know what I mean? So he's still in a situation with Jesse Wu. Yeah. Hopefully we'll get that. We'll see if we can get that going, man. We'll definitely. We'll see what happens there. You know what I mean? Someone said Jalen wasn't hot like that. Damn. Okay. But Nick is? Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Now, this is really interesting. It said she didn't want Jalen, so why does she have to be with him? Because it's a game. You guys keep telling me that it's a game. You guys keep telling me to defend Olandria. It's a game. I keep hearing that it's a game for Olandria. It's a game. It's curated. It's edited. All this kind of stuff. And then now, why can't she put Jalen because of the game then? Like y'all pick and choose whenever it's a game and when it's not a game. It's like one day is a game and next day, no, it's not a game, it's serious. Okay, if Jalen's just there, why not pick him as a game? No, it's a game. So why did you pick him? Oh no, because Olandria is really in it for love. Remember early in the season? People that were defending Olandria were saying, oh, she's really here for love. So if she's here for love, I hear it. But now it's a game. But we said it's a game as well. Okay, then choose him. It's a game at the end of the day, right? It's a game. She could have chosen. Listen, I'm not mad at it. And I already cussed out Taylor. If you were here earlier on in the season, I done cussed out Taylor. I told you Taylor does not want Olandria. I said it from the very beginning, and I called it out from the very, very beginning. I said, he don't want Olandria. Everything about him, it was forced. He was struggling to make things happen. Boy was asking to make dates. He was struggling to find a physical attraction. This brother never liked her. I was like, what conversation are you guys having? The boy doesn't even look at you in the eye. No, I'm sorry. Listen, and that's why I said that Andrea has to look deeper. I gave body language examples. The man wasn't even looking you in the eye. He would sit with you and would look straight. If anybody's been here since the beginning when I've been doing the reviews, did I not show you several times where Taylor is talking to Olandria and he doesn't even look her in the eye? He'd be sitting, like I've been saying a lot about Ace. I've been saying it about Taylor. I've been saying that they sit like this and they don't even look at the woman. They look straight. They're not connected with you. They're not connected with you. So, you know what I'm saying to you? And I called it out from the beginning of the season. When I started the reviews, I said, Taylor doesn't like Olandria. She should get someone else. He does not like her. She just couldn't see it. All this slow stuff. But there was nothing really popping. And then when he did finally kiss her, I was like, he forced the kiss. If you have to tell someone you can kiss me, more than likely you're going to have to force that kiss. That's what I'm trying to say to you. Like at some point in your head, Olandria, if you have to say to the man, you can kiss me, you probably have to think to yourself, is this the right kind of person? Let me be open. Jalen was flirting. He kissed her outside of he asked for a kiss outside, and Olandria said, "I don't like it because he wants to be too physical." Let's not rewrite what happened. Jalen actually tried. He tried to be flirtatious with Olandria, and Olandria did not want it. It's okay. She doesn't have to want it. But let's not lie as if that Jalen never put no energy in. Oh, and do what Ace was saying. Ace was like, "Oh, I never saw Jalen trying." When she told us he was trying, and that's the reason why she didn't want him, because he was being physical. So listen, it's okay to say that she makes bad decisions. It's okay. It's okay. Like I said, she doesn't have to choose him because she likes him. She can choose him because it's a game, apparently. Remember you guys said that? It's a game. She doesn't have to be loyal to Sierra because it's a game. It's a game. So she doesn't have to choose him. She could have chosen Jalen just to keep him in the show because it's a game. Now, if you've been here, you've now spoken about Clark and Taylor. I said I'm not 100% sure about Clark. I think Clark is a great actor. You know? I think Clark is a great actor at the moment, because at the moment, like I said, I do see the physical touch, I see all that stuff, but there's certain things I think in her brain she's calculating it. I think she's calculating certain things in her mind. So I'm not. I've already said it's an energy that I feel. I'm not saying 100%. She may really, really like him, but there's something I'm not sure about. But it's cool. You know what I'm saying to you? It's understandable. We're not mad at it. At the end of the day, everyone's got to have their journey. Do you get what I'm saying to you? So, you know, I think in that essence, and I don't even know. I don't even remember Clark having the baby, to be honest. You're probably right on that one. I never saw Clark having a baby. In fact, I mean, it's a little bit of a clip here, but hey, they
Getting Ace and Shelly for some socks. They're two different colors, but it's okay.
I'm coming to get the bonnet, okay?
You are ripping it off the bonnet of the baby. The baby is trying to sleep.
Give her the bonnet.
That's your couple there, boy. The way Olandria looked at him, she want to eat that brother up. Now, let me be honest with you. The way that Olandria looking at Nick is going to end in heartbreak. It's going to, the way she looked at this man,
My name's Marcel, so we named him.
it's going to end in heartbreak. And when it does, I don't want to hear nothing from you. It's going to end in heartbreak. You see the way she's looking at him? It's going to end in heartbreak. He's going to end in heartbreak. It's going to end in heartbreak.
Marcel.
But I may be wrong. I've been wrong before.
So we got a boy.
Don't be name him.
The baby is left alone.
Let me say this now. Amaya Papaya. Okay? Amaya Papaya. Let me talk about it. Let me talk about Amaya Papaya and Brian. The moment she said that Brian was doing that position, the downward dog or whatever, to her last night, I said, Amaya, you done lost your mind. Amaya, you done lost your mind. I do think it's weird, baby love. I can't lie to you, but you know, they're going to tell us it's not weird. They're going to tell us it's part of the show. They're going to tell us that because Sierra's out, she deserves to have some freedom. They're going to tell us all of that kind of stuff. But meanwhile, like I said, where was the loyalty? Anyway. Oh, do you know what? Did she? No, but I thought she told. Did she not say? I think she told. Did she not say? I think she said. Or at least she told Taylor. I don't know if she told Shelly. I know she told Taylor, right? But when she said he was doing a downward dog on her, I said, "Oh my gosh, again, Amaya." I keep telling you about Maya. She's too fast with it, too fast. You were only with Brian like how long ago? It's not that long ago. Come on, man. Oh, baby girl. I was like, Amaya, please slow it down. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Come on. I said, baby, you gotta relax. Can't allow yourself to be taken away so quickly. You know what I'm saying to you? Man. Anyway, listen, my time is up. Okay. My time is up. I hear it. But tomorrow we'll be on. You guys can have your say. The fans live will be tomorrow. Come off, man. These mosquitoes. We'll be on a live tomorrow. So if you're here and you want to have your say for tomorrow's live, Wednesday night live, come through tomorrow. We'll definitely see you guys as well. And we'll definitely have a conversation with you guys as well. It's been good at the moment. Oh, Pepe. But I haven't got much to say about Pepe. Look, Pepe's body language has changed. He's open to Iris now. Just going to tell you that now. He's open to Iris. That man's body language, he started turning his body towards Iris. He's open to it now. Yes, he's open to it. He's going to fornicate and he's going to engage. Just going to tell you that now. Him going back to Hannah, he's going to go back to Hannah with a limp. Yep. Iris going to put on him. They're going to have sex. Simple as. Keep it a buck and keep it real. Okay? But listen, we got to go. I appreciate you guys. Stay locked, stay loaded. We'll see you again tomorrow on our live engagement. Okay.